Let me begin first with some acknowledgments, which is really the most important part of my job. I want to acknowledge the longtime Vice Chairman of the Bowling Green Association, Ibrahim Kurtulis, who's responsible for many of these flag raisings. And as a matter of fact, Ibrahim, about 6 weeks ago, arranged for Senegal to raise their flag here, which gave me the opportunity to meet Sheikh Dramé, who I spoke to and told him I wanted to do the African Union flag here. And he said, we'll make it happen. I said, well, we need a 12 by 8 foot African Union flag. He said, we'll get it. So, Sheikh, thank you very much. We couldn't have done this without you. Although some people aren't here yet, they are coming. I'd like to acknowledge Commissioner Manuel Castro and his staff, who partner with the Bowling Green Association on all these flag reasons since our great new mayor became mayor in January. His senior staff, Shana Coriel, Eileen Reyes, Cesar Vargas. I also want to give a special thank to our Commissioner of International Affairs, Commissioner Mermelstein, and most of all, Commissioner Asita Kamara, who played the absolutely pivotal role, who will be taking over as MC after I make a few remarks. And finally, what is most important of all to be raising the African Union flag here for the first time here at Bowling Green, the powerful reason we fly the 13-star American flag here. Without question, there is no competition. The most important flag raising in all of American history took place right here on November 25th, 1783. 7 years after General George Washington had to retreat from New York City in disarray in 1776, chased by the British. 7 years later, George Washington returned triumphant to New York City for just one reason: to declare the war over and America's complete victory. He came into New York City, rode down Broadway, this Broadway, right to this very place, to witness the last British troops still stationed anywhere in the American states leave this new nation. And most of all, he was right here to watch the last British flag still flying anywhere in the Americas come down right here at Bowling Green and to be replaced by the 13-star American flag. And why we fly the 13-star American flag every single day of the year and always will, in his honor. So, although Ambassador Mohammed has not arrived yet, I very much hope the African community, and the African Union specifically, will return here every September on or near African Union Day, year after year for generations to come, to raise your flag here. And for generations to come, for the union of African nations and the African continent becomes more and more powerful and significant and prosperous until it rivals or surpasses the power centers of today, the United States, China, and the European Union.
Kokanizante mama Africa, oh yeah. Yeah, mama, Africa. Yeah, mama, Africa. Yeah, mama, Africa. Thank you, everybody.
And now I would like to introduce our Master of Ceremonies for today, the Office of International Affairs, Commissioner Asita Kamara.
And now it's my pleasure to introduce a woman, an ambassador that I have watched for many years inside of the UN and has my utmost respect. Ambassador Mohammed, please join us to make your remarks.
And thank you so much, Isata. It's really such an honor for me to join you today and just to see the AU flag flying here. It's just phenomenal and amazing and truly an honor for me. So I'm truly grateful to Isata, Mr. Mayor. Good afternoon, Council Generals, Commissioners, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, on behalf of the African Union, I'd like to thank you for inviting us to be here for this first ever event of raising the African Union flag in New York City. And I wish to sincerely thank the Mayor's office for this kind invitation, and to everyone that was part of organizing this event. This ceremony is important to us as it honors not only the symbol of our organization, but also what it represents: the hopes, the aspirations, and the vision of a truly united and prosperous Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, as you're aware, we marked the 20th anniversary of the African Union on September 9th, 2022. It's been 20 years since the Durban Summit in 2002, which relaunched Africa's Pan-African organization. The African Union Agenda 2063, our development agenda, sets out the aspirations of our people and prioritizes what we intend to see, where the continent moves closer towards reaching its development goals by the year 2063 as we aspire for the Africa that we envision. These aspirations reflect our desire for shared prosperity and well-being, for unity and integration, for a continent of free citizens and expanded horizons where the full potential of all our population, especially our women and youth, are realized. God bless Africa, and God bless the city of New York. I thank you for your attention.
And please, again, we thank you for being here. It really, truly means a lot to all of us. And now it's my pleasure to introduce the 110th mayor of this great city, the city of New York, Mayor Eric Adams.
Ambassador, thank you for your words, and to the Council Generals who are here, and all of our dignitaries and friends. Many of you have been part of this journey with me for the last few years, and the seed of my success lies on the continent of Africa. Several years ago, my first visit to Gorée Island in Senegal, standing in the door of no return, I felt the ancestors cry out that now we left the shores of Africa in slavery, and I returned back with the mayoralty. And that's the energy and spirit of the African people as we continue to rise across the globe. And then going to Ghana and visiting some of the dungeons, understanding the challenges and difficulties, but the undying spirit of the African people, not only who remain home on the shores of Africa, but those who came here to the Americas. And we know for far too long, the continent of Africa has been left out of America's overall agenda of how do we open trade, commerce, culture, and use our political strength and know-how to give the same level of support we have given to other countries. We have fallen short on giving to Africa. It's crucial that we carve out a real plan, a plan that calls on our senators and on the federal level, our congressional delegation, our lawmakers here throughout the entire country. It's time for us to come with a real plan of action, of using our ability, technical and know-how to stop the raping of Africa's natural resources and allow the African people to be able to use their resources. For far too long, the cocoa, the gold, the diamonds, all the natural resources have been removed from Africa, and you see no real stability in the locations where they've been removed from. And there's been so much silence. But part of the built-in plan that allowed the colonializing of not only the physical space, but our mental space lies with us. We have been too divided for too long. We don't identify ourselves as cousins and nephews that were violently removed from each other. And it's time not only for the land to be united as you had done so well, it's time for the people to be united. That is the focus and the goal. And don't miss this opportunity. New York City is the most important city on the globe. And if you only see it as that you have a black mayor, then you are missing what is truly yours to own. You have an African-American mayor, just as any other group will identify the connectivity of their homeland. America is my adopted home. My original home is in Africa. I'm an African-American, and I'm not going to leave my ancestry behind like no other ethnic group in this city or country should do so. If you're an Italian American, you should be rich and concerned about what happens in Italy. If you're a Chinese American, you should be rich and concerned about what happens in China. If you're a Greek American, you should be rich and concerned what happens in Greece. No matter where you are, this country states you do not have to abandon your homeland to embrace your new land. And I'm not going to abandon Africa. Africa is who I am and who I will always be. So you have an African American mayor in every village, in every town, in every country, on the continent of Africa. You should be lifting up the success of what we have done. I am here because our ancestors paved the way for us, and we should never forget that. Now it's time to rebuild and become who we ought to be. That's what the raising of this flag is. It's not an insignificant moment taking place on the stage of African unity. It's a profound statement that here, for the first time, all the countries that are part of the Union is raising one flag together to say one people, one destination, one focus, so that we can get this right. And we are ready. And we're not just talking about it. Look at these queens that are part of my administration, at the top end of my administration. Ahmed from Ghana has been with me throughout my entire journey, and now my chief counsel. We know the significance of where we are and the point that we are trying to raise. This is only the beginning. We have so much to do, and the only way we do it is to stay united together. And we don't have to replace tyranny with tyranny. Diversity is the key. There's opportunity and wealth for us all. As Gandhi once said, there's so much for human need. There isn't enough for human greed. It's time to share the wealth of this globe so no one has to live in the state of devastation that we're seeing across the globe. I'm happy to be the mayor of this city with the rich African diaspora that is here. I'm happy to be part of this flag raising, and I'm happy to know that together we're going to accomplish the task we are looking for. The pains of the past will give us the purpose of the future. Up, you mighty people, you can be what you will. Thank you.